rock and roll trucker.
This is the Rock and Roll Trucker. We're knocking out miles, we're eating good, we're rocking and rolling and having a good time. Come along for a ride. Let's see where we can go today. Good morning. Monday, December 11th. Ugh, Christmas is almost here. Not ready. Never ready. Can we skip the holidays? Just go back to making money? Nah, I'm not going to be that much of a Scrooge. It's morning time. Nobody's happy in the morning time. It's not that early though. A little later start than usual today because I don't have to pick up my load until 10 a.m. at Coca-Cola. But then we're going to be busy, wide open from there. But it is Monday. It's the day that she's been looking forward to. She says, it's time for him to get out of here and get off my nerves.
I did not say that at all.
She says he's getting on my nerves. Go get back in your big black tractor.
Never said that in my life.
Sad face.
I don't want you to go, dear.
Did you hear that? She don't want me to go, she says. Can I just stay home? Do I have y'all's permission? Can y'all like cash app over here or something like that? Can y'all send me a day's wage? I'll take another day off. Actually, it'll have to be 3 because we got the next 3 days scheduled out. She's about to go deliver me back to the truck. I don't want to go. I enjoy being here much more. We got to go make money. Yeah, Dash. Are you here?
Yes.
Hey, look. Say good morning, Dash. Yes. Say goodbye, Dash.
Say bye.
Tell me bye.
Say bye.
Because we're going to go. We got to go trucking. So next time you see me, I'll be behind the wheels of the Morticia the Black Kenworth. You know. But what I can always remember when I leave is there is a country song at play here. She thinks my tractor's sexy. It really does turn around. She is always staring. Look, she's staring at me now. She's always staring. I'm not going to do that to y'all. It's awful. It's awful. But yes, time to go trucking. Good morning from the house. Soon to be good morning from the truck. See y'all in a little while. You gonna say bye for the...
Bye.
She say, see y'all next time. Dash. Say bye. See y'all on the road. Here we are, people. Aaron got us over to the truck. Got the old seatbelt on. Pre-trip inspection's done. Got ourselves hooked up to a trailer. We're about to pull out of the lot and head over to one of the many Coca-Colas over here. We're going to grab a load. We're not scheduled till 10. We'll be there 9:20, 9:30 here, so they might get us in a little bit early. Then we get an hour back going to Central Time, going down to Montgomery, Alabama to Coca-Cola there. We're going to drop that one and then immediately hook up to a loaded one. Supposedly, there's one that's going to be loaded ready for us there. Should have been done yesterday, I believe. Or is it due today? It might be ready today. It's supposed to be ready, regardless. We're dropping a load and picking up a load. And we're going from there to Savannah, Georgia to Coca-Cola there. For tomorrow, pulling out of there and boogieing straight on over to another location in Savannah to grab a load heading down to Mobile, Alabama. Yeah. So we got the next 3 days lined up. It's going to be busy. Getting there to our place in Mobile on Wednesday is going to be tight. They got it scheduled for 4 a.m. That's going to be tiring run getting there, and then Wednesday is going to be a tiring day going to do anything else from getting up that early to make that delivery. But we'll get it done. We'll make some money. We'll get back home next weekend. Yeah, we're lined up. We know what we're doing for the next few days. We like that. I'm not going to say they're all the most spectacular paying loads, but they're not bad. They're really not bad in this current environment that we're in. Not horrible. And my deadhead, at least for these loads, is minimal. I'm only got to run, I'm over here at one of the Ringgold exits in Georgia here, not far out of Chattanooga. I've only got a deadhead just to into Chattanooga for this load. And when I get to Montgomery, there'll be 0 deadhead because I'm dropping and hooking my load, both of my my delivery and my pickup right there at the same location. So no deadhead involved there. And then delivery in Savannah, the Coca-Cola there is only a short few miles, not even like maybe 10 miles, if that, away from the other pickup. So we are making up these next 3 days. My cabinet opened up on me, sorry about that. We're increasing our profit just a little bit here with basically our next 3 days are basically going to have no deadhead. So that works out. That kind of helps the rates out a little bit there. And again, they're not bad rates. They're not bad for what's happening out here in the freight markets right now. So not a bad next couple of days set up financially and schedule wise. Here we are. We're about to jump on 75 north. We're gonna run up in here to the 75-24 split and continue on 75 north down to Highway 153 on down to exit 5 or 6, I can't remember what number, to Amnicola Highway and run on down to Wisdom Street. Not very far. This will be the most deadhead we do for the next couple of days, so yeah, pleased with that setup. Be okay money. Not having a deadhead. I've been doing a lot of deadhead recently, so being set up to not have to bounce is pretty nice. Yeah. But we had a good weekend, Aaron and I. We didn't do a whole lot of stuff other than we went out and ate some good food, and yeah, we went to see a little bit of music Saturday night, and did we do anything Friday? I can't remember what we did. If we just went, I think we went out to go out to eat and then just come back and chill out at the house, and I don't even remember everything we did. It was just a relaxed, just hanging out weekend. We just enjoyed our company, or each other's company, and got out and did some walking around town, and went and looked at the Christmas tree display downtown at the park. Went and had some good food, had a couple of good pizzas over the weekend. Saw some decent live music. We wanted to stick around for the live music for a little while longer Saturday night, but all the wicked weather that ran through, up around Clarksville, Tennessee and everything with the tornadoes and all, that front stretched all the way down, like all the way completely down the entirety of the southeast. And about 10:30 or 11, that started getting ready to crawl across Chattanooga there, and we were on foot, and we had to time it so where we could leave and get home before all the weather hit. And thank goodness we didn't get anything bad like they did up there around those other areas. I had a lot of unfortunate people lose their homes, and some people got killed, and it's just the tornadoes are an awful thing, and it's awful. The gigantic one that they had quite a few years ago, long time ago at this point, but big one that just crushed the area down around Tuscaloosa, Alabama. When I was working for the company hauling the truckloads of mattresses to furniture stores and whatnot, I got a load that had to go off into Tuscaloosa there about a week later, 2 weeks later, after that tornado, and they were still very, very much in the cleanup process and not anywhere near, just scratching the surface of it. And that was a massive tornado, and I had never seen anything like that on the outskirts of town going all the way in. It was truly like somebody had dropped an atomic bomb on the place. It was just sad to see, and I hated to hear that one, about the ones up there in Tennessee, they're up there in my home state. Around, I can't remember where else. I know right around Clarksville. I don't remember the exact locations, but you can look them up on the news. It was bad. It was bad Saturday night for a lot, or Saturday and Saturday night for a lot of people. So think about those people and send them some good energies and good vibes. If there's any, clothing drives or food drives or fundraisers or anything, you can do anything there, definitely do that. That's a lot of people lost everything they had. So I'm gonna quit talking about depressing stuff there. It's just on my mind right now. I'm gonna get over here to Coca-Cola and see if they'll get this load to me a little bit early. We'll get on the way to Montgomery. Stop get some fuel, and I'll see y'all somewhere in Alabama when I come back on here in a bit. See y'all in a little while. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Here we are. 59. Getting real close to Birmingham here. We got our Coca-Cola load. It was, got there about 30 minutes early, and they were being real picky about not handing out doors till right on your appointment time today. So I had to wait about 30 minutes. But after I went and rechecked back in at 10, got my door immediately, and got backed into it, ran in, checked in with the shipping office like you got to do. It's a whole rigmarole there. But within minutes of getting back into my truck from the shipping office, the dock plate came down, and they got me got my airline lock on there and everything, and they got to loading. And my actual appointment time was for 10, and I was back out of the gate by about 10:45. So really, in the world of trucking, when you're live loading, that's reasonably efficient. I could live with that. That counted my going back in to check out and get my paperwork and checking out with the guard check and everything. So they did their job today, all right. Not gonna fuss too much there. Buggied on out of town, got to Rising Fawn, Georgia, splashed a little bit of fuel so we'd have enough to get this heavy load down to Montgomery. I'll be able to drop this load immediately. As to whether sometimes it's a little bit of a coin flip when you're picking up there too. It's a coin flip as to whether they're going to live load you or if it's already going to be preloaded and ready to go. I've got my fingers crossed for being able to just do a quick swap out, just a quick drop and hook. Just drop this one, pick up the other one. But it's a possibility I may have to go around back and live load it. But for the most part, they're usually reasonably efficient there at the Montgomery Coca-Cola too. So that might not be too big of a deal. We're here. We're back. It's Monday. Didn't want to leave my weekend. We always, Aaron and I and Dash, we always have a good time just not being at work. Not, so it's always a bummer to go back to work. We had fun. Like I said earlier, got some live music in, got some good food in. At one point, we live right around the corner. There's a free electric, like trolley / shuttle service that picks up right over by the Chattanooga Choo Choo that goes from one end of town to the other. It runs all day long until way on into the night, back and forth, and it's a free ride. And we'll ride that, when we don't feel like walking the full length of town and going from South Side all the way to North Shore or something like that. We'll ride that and go to the other end of town and get off and go walk around that end. And we got on, was that Friday night? Or was that Saturday night? I think that was Friday night. We got on, and there was a driver there we had not seen before, and I still don't know if it was her, I don't know if it was her kids or if it was her grandkids. I'm not fully positive, but there was a little boy and a little girl in there, and we got on, sat right across from them. They were real shy at first, and then they kind of spoke and said something, heard us talking or whatever, and they picked up on the fact that I was a truck driver. And that was of great interest to the little boy. And we talked to him about that for a minute, showed him some pictures of my truck, and he was like, that's cool. He really thought, driving a truck and everything was cool. And then we told him, I used to play music too, and he told us all about how he was big time into country music, and he was going to be the next Morgan Wallen. We're like, cool, man, cool. And then he picked up on the fact that I had a YouTube channel. I showed him the name of the channel and everything. He looked it up right there on the spot, subscribed to me there. so I thought that was pretty fun. I made a little friend there on the shuttle there, and he thought truck driving was cool, and I appreciate that. And his sister was sweet as could be. She was in pop music. It was so I think she said she was singing into chorus and choir in school, and she wants to be a singer too. And they were just the sweetest, nicest little kids, and it made for nice little ride. They were on there riding the route there with Mom or Grandma. Again, apologize for not knowing that. If y'all happen to see this, I guess they were chilling with her until the end of the route there. When they got done at I think it stopped running 9-10 o'clock, something like that, and they were just riding along, and it was fun chatting back and forth with those kids, and they kind of me and Aaron, it kind of made our night, and hope they enjoyed talking to us too. So if you guys watch this, we appreciate y'all talking to us there on the trolley there. It was a good time. You and your sister both. Y'all were good, nice kids. We enjoyed chatting it up with you. You made a truck driver feel like he wasn't doing something completely worthless. So that was pretty cool. That's all. You never can tell what you're going to run into in town there. That was our little highlights and fun for the weekend there. We just missed them on the ride back when we went to the trolley on the way back. They usually rotate two, running back and forth in a circle, and as we were walking up to catch the ride back, they were pulling out of the little station there, and we had to wave at them on the way by there. We missed riding with them again, but maybe we'll see them again. That was fun. And yeah, we're 59, starting to get to the outskirts of Birmingham. We'll be passing through shortly, getting over and jumping on 65 and finishing out the ride to Montgomery, and hopefully getting it done in an efficient manner, because we still got to get all the way over to, or very close to, Savannah, Georgia this evening too. So we got work to do, y'all. We got work to do. And speaking of that, I'm gonna hop off here for a bit and go do said work, and I will catch back up with all of you here in a bit. Bye bye for now. See you in a little while. Dropping hook is a success. We got in there, dropped, picked up, gave me my paperwork, seal and everything. I put the seal on like we do in Chattanooga when we pick up at Coca-Cola. Got to the gate and they said, did you put that seal on yourself? I said, yeah. Hey, you got to turn around and go back to the office and go get another seal. But really, come on now. You know, I'm used to, they're different at all of them. And the one in Chattanooga, they just give you your seal and say, put it on there. It was like no big deal. That was the only hiccup. But this load is heavy. I mean heavy. I'm right at about 78,000 pounds gross, and I still got to throw a little fuel on here. The build weight on this thing is 45,000, almost 200. Just a little under 45 too. I mean, they just keep creeping a little bit more on these. I'm like, they're getting awfully brave, you know. They're gonna, something like that, they're gonna have people show up that can't carry that. I don't keep an extraordinary amount of stuff in my trucks. I'm a little lighter than some people, and I don't usually keep my fuel tanks all the way full, but if you showed up there with both tanks all the way full and you carry a lot of personal belongings in your truck, you'd be knocking on the door being overweight with that, over gross. And they've got a fleet called Cowan, you know, they're called the lightweight fleet. They put it on their trailers even, and I guess they just assume they can load everybody like that. You know, luckily I'm under gross. That's just they don't pay terrible rates, but the rates they're paying, man, that's getting a little bit excessive on the weight for what they're paying there. That's pretty wild, these places. It seems like the heavier the load is, the cheaper it is, unless you're in some kind of specialized, you know, oversized stuff or something like that. It's in drive-in, it's just cheap and heavy seems to be the mantra always since I've been in trucking. Don't get me wrong, there's okay money on this load, but at that kind of weight, I feel like you need to pony up a few more pennies on there, a few more dimes, nickels, and quarters there for that. But yeah, not too shabby of a get in and get out. I might just barely have enough time to get over to where I'm going. My delivery appointment is not until 10, so if I have to stay slightly outside, I can, but it's really going to affect me on getting my next load to where it's got to be for tomorrow, especially if it's not ready to be dropped and hooked when I get there and I have to live unload it or something. Live load. We'll see. I need to be real close to where I'm delivering. That's what I know. There's no places to park at that Coca-Cola plant over there that I'm delivering to, so I can't park there. There's not any real great choices in the mile around it, so I'm gonna be stuck parking 8 to 10 miles out somewhere, if best case scenario there. So the Loves I parked at last time, I was surprised that I was able to get a spot there last time in the evening time, so we'll check there first, and if not, I got a little spot up my sleeve, over near another customer I'll go grab, but we'll see what happens. We are rolling. We're gonna have to stop and get fuel for this trip, get a little more splash to get there. I don't have quite enough. I was trying not to fuel too much, more than I had to over this pay period here, but it all evens out in the end. It doesn't really matter, but this fueling should come off the next pay period. We're as usual balling on the budget, so we just kind of watch our dimes and nickels and watch when we're spending our dimes and nickels, but it all comes out of the same pool of money in the end. It just gets depressing when you get it when you get a pay statement and it's a lot lower than you want it to be on account of having to do an extra fuel or something like that. But yeah, I definitely won't make it on what I got left with this 45,000 pounds in the box here, so we're unfortunately gonna have to stop for a little bit more fuel, but I kind of figured I'd probably have to. I don't like filling up or filling most of the way up until I get on the first day of the new pay period, and this is the first trip on it, so go ahead and do what we gotta do. It's aggravating. I've had so many troubles since I started doing this owner-operated gig. I've just never fully gotten ahead on my money, and I don't have the reserves I'd like to have, so I'm a little more particular about when I fuel and how much I fuel still trying to catch up. The holidays knocked Thanksgiving knocked the plug out of me for 1 week, and then we had trouble with the car at home, and then we got Christmas and New Year's coming up. We're going to be short of some money around those weeks, so we're just still not ahead where we'd like to be. Every time we get close, something happens, but we're going to ride it out and we're going to make it. We just got to operate as tight as we can. Yeah, we're loaded. We're on 85 East. We're going to go down here and jump off and hit a back highway. We're not going through Atlanta and all that mess. We're going to take a secondary route that's a little better. And we got a Loves on that route with a decent price on our discount right now. So that's where we're headed. That's what we're doing. That's where we're at. I'll get back with y'all a little further into the trip here. It'll start getting dark here in an hour or two, and I'll get back with you before then, and y'all do what you got to do, and I'll be back in a bit. See you in a little while. Oh, hello people. Been a while since I talked to you on this video. Got dark on me. Was planning on having one more little sit down on here, a little drive along before we got stopped for the night, but we got off of the interstate there in Alabama to start diving across towards Georgia, and got, I think it was Phoenix, Alabama, I believe it was. Not too far off the interstate there. Was it Highway 80? I'm not sure. There was some sort of wicked bad accident on there that shut down, of course, my side of the highway, and it backed traffic up for miles and had a detour going around, and we lost over an hour in that, and it really put the squeeze on the evening and kept us from getting all the way where we wanted to go. We're within about 45 miles, but I was hoping to be within 5 or 10 miles, and it's going to put a further squeeze on tomorrow. I'm going to be having to use time I didn't want to use, and had to drive a lot later than I meant to. I was hoping to have been done well before now, but we're at exit 111 on I-16 at Grady's truck stop. I don't think the truck stop's not even open right now. I got here too late for it to even be open. Not where I was wanting to go. I don't mind showing support for the independent truck stops and all, but it doesn't even seem that they're open. It looks like they've closed all the trucks, having a new TA Express, a couple of exits up at the 116, and having the Loves up a little bit further than that is causing these guys to be yet another victim of modern convenience here. Another mom and pop kind of starting to circle the drain, I guess, and probably a pretty cool old truck stop back in the day, and it might still be in there. It had like the little diner and stuff, had good reviews on Trucker Path and all, but I can't get in there to use it right now and not doing anything, and their parking lot leaves a lot to be desired. I mean, I'm glad I got a space. There was a lot of places, even with it being mostly full, there were still a lot of places to squeeze in, but it's not marked off or anything, and it's just completely dirt. And I guess it's been raining here at some point today, and it's just muddy, sandy, wet, like giant puddle and crater-filled mess right now. Wouldn't be so bad when it's dry, but it's pretty nasty out there. You don't really want to get not really even a good spot to get out and stretch the legs and take a walk around the lot or anything like that, so that kind of sucks, but hopefully they hang on. Yeah, I don't ever want to see any mom and pop truck stops go out of business, especially not on account of crappy big chain stops moving in 2 miles, 3 miles down the road. Hank Sam's getting squeezed out. But yeah, that's where we're at. About to shut the truck down, get the APU fired up, and do a couple of things, and get to bed. We're tired. I'm tired. That was a long day. That was a very, very full day. We listened to a lot of podcasts, a lot of radio shows. What we listen to for music? I'll recommend some music today. This one isn't going to please everybody's ears. Pretty heavy stuff. Way back in the day, we're going back to 1994. A band named Crisis. Female-fronted band by a gal named Karen Crisis is what she went by, her stage and professional name there, and very heavy stuff. I don't really know what style of metal to classify it as. I wouldn't write it quite into like hardcore. It's got some elements of that. It's got some elements of straight ahead, just heavy metal. It's got some elements of. It's from '94. It doesn't fit to me anywhere in the classification of new metal that was starting to surface back then. It's just heavy, very heavy, borderline, extreme kind of metal. Not really even extreme on it, just very groove oriented, like almost hardcore. I don't know, but her vocals are not going to fit everybody's taste. She's got a very, very, very unique style of vocals. I dig it. I think she's a badass. I think the band is completely badass. Love their sound. And but they got an album. I'm pretty sure it was 1994. It's called Death's Head Extermination. Yeah, Death's Head Extermination by the band Crisis. And I revisit that album every so often. I'll forget about it, and then I'll get reminded of it, and I'll pull it right back out and get obsessed with it again. And that was my one main focus of music that I listened to today. So that's my recommendation there. If you like really badass female-fronted metal, that's one that's not going to be on everybody's radar. They were not like a huge band, definitely not a mainstream band, but they were known, and they do have really good stuff out there, particularly Death's Head Extermination, that album. So I recommend check that out if you want to try something a little bit different that might be out of your usual vein there. Outside of that, I'm going to go. It was a long day, and I'm going to have an even longer one tomorrow. So time for bed. If you're watching this and it's morning time, nighttime, evening time, have a good one of those, whatever time it may be. Be good to your fellow humans out there. Spread positivity and good energy whenever you can. Make this world a better place than it is, because it sucks right now. So we're all in the same boat. So try and be good to whoever you can out there. With that said, I'm gonna bail off of here for the night. Get rested up. Do it again tomorrow. We'll see you on the next ride. Bye bye for now.